Good news, after exactly 1 month in captivity, all abducted school children taken from St. Mary's Catholic School in Papiri Community, Niger State, have now been released, with the final group of 130 freed, bringing the total number rescued to 230. Officials of the Office of National Security Advisor confirmed this to Arise News Channel on Sunday. The development brings an end to days of anguish for families and marks a breakthrough for security agencies involved in the rescue operation. The children were kidnapped when gunmen attacked the boarding school, triggering nationwide outrage and renewed concerns over school safety across Nigeria. Authorities say the successful release of all the victims followed sustained security pressure and coordinated efforts as calls intensified for stronger protection of schools and decisive action to prevent a repeat of such attacks. Moving on, troops of Operation Hadinkai, in collaboration with local vigilante groups, have successfully disrupted a terrorist supply operation, killing 17 insurgents in a coordinated long-range ambush. The operation was carried out in the early hours of December 21, 2025, as part of ongoing kinetic operations in the northeast. All right, this morning, as expected, security successes recorded over the weekend dominates the news for good reason. And so, Rufai, your take on this story. First of all, really glad to hear that 130 school children have now been released in the second batch of students evacuated, as some reports put it. After negotiations with bandits. Your take on these stories, Rufai?
Released after negotiation with bandits. Till date, we don't know the terms of the release. So it goes back to the allegations, I think it was by Rufai that said bandits are being paid. We've also had military operations in this country by the Americans that happened in Katsina, where they released someone that was abducted and they actually killed the bandits. For good measure, the bandits are still roaming around. They are still free. All right?
Yeah.
So with this negotiation, is it that we're robbing the heads of the bandits? Yes, I know we make the argument, collateral damage, that's what we're avoiding and all of that. But listen to this interesting tweet by Chidi Odonkalu. 315 were abducted. In fact, I think the numbers were about 317, maybe by the calculation. 50 were reported to have escaped. 100 were said to have been released in the first summit. Another 130 now. Total 280. Have we accounted for the rest?
35.
35.
Yeah.
So there are still many questions around. Yeah. But at least we are happy these ones can come home and celebrate for Christmas. But the question I'd like to ask this government is, what about the people in the church that were taken in Kogi? Because it's as if we've forgotten about them. What about Reverend Archie's wife that is still in custody? What about the other people that have been kidnapped around Kogi, Lokoja, the expressway? What about travelers? Are we going to be able to account for them? So it's not just about, some have been released and the chemicals have been released. Can we collectively account for all of them? And that's why, for the second time, another delegation from the Congress came, and I'm happy Arise TV got another exclusive with her singer. And they are saying, yes, we'll not put boots on the ground, which I think is not even plausible. I mean, nobody will support America putting boots on the ground. In fact, it's not even going to be popular there.
Yeah,
but we want to work with you. But when we are working with the government, is there going to be a level of sincerity? That's just it. Because we can't be talking about releasing people and we're not having any level of sincerity. Sincerity around what, for instance? You'll ask me, Ira. Sincerity around even these people released. What threshold? So if they even give you intelligence to fight or kill these bandits that harass people or that arrested these people in Kwara and the likes and in Niger, because you're already in rapport with them, would you go ahead and kill them? That's what we're talking about, sincerity and complicity. These same people that the federal government negotiated with, that they were so sure, to the extent that the National Security Advisor was even telling us that, don't worry, your kids are safe. And it was correct because negotiations were on. Now that you've brought the people out back, and it was 35 remaining, okay, let's say you finally account for everybody out. If you have the intelligence as provided by America and some other countries that this is where their hideout is, 2 bombs will decimate them. Would you kill them? You see, that's why we're talking about sincerity. And a way to be able to do it even better. So this hobnobbing and going to bed with these bandits, it has not helped us a great deal. And we need to be able to look deeply how to be able to resolve all of these challenges, because if we don't do it, we don't get out of it. So the Americans have come again. They also went to a church. They have direct access. In fact, part of the things they also discussed in the church, I think General Musa was also there in that church. And General Musa has also, spoken to the Christian leaders. There's been a lot of interfaith conversation. The question is, we need to now protect General Musa, because I'm already hearing some people are beginning to say, General Musa is doing this, he's doing that, he's high-handed, he wants to kill him. No. General Musa is here to be able to solve the problem. Let's not start attacking him when he starts to root out and kill these bandits, like we attacked Neg0ti, like they attacked Neg0ti then. And the people that started blackmailing the Neg0ti then, they know themselves. I'm not saying the army should not do anything they're going to do within the bounds of international laws and all of that.
Yeah. For the children who have been rescued, we don't even know the exact number. Yeah. We were told initially that there were over 250 staff and pupils. Okay? Yeah. People who just... How do we have a country of people who claim to be intelligent, big, they will be carrying themselves like a poppycock all over the place? Look, we don't even know the number of people that we have in this country. Even if it is 250, 250 would disappear. Over 250 would disappear. Human beings, so not animals. So in some other countries, if one animal disappears, they will account for it. I think it is disgraceful that Nigeria will be speculating about the number of people who disappeared. However, we are now told that no people is left, no staff is left. We have retained, we have been able to rescue 230 persons. I think 50 of those ones escaped on their own, according to the Christian Association of Nigeria. Yeah. But whatever it is, nobody should be abducted in this country. We congratulate with the families that have their people back, but the main point is that all of us should be safe, as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu pointed out. Now there is a conundrum. You have people disappearing from Kebbi, the Muslim pupils from the school in Kebbi. They were rescued within 1 month. Then in Niger State, in Papiri, Christian students disappeared along with their teachers. So is somebody playing a game here? Muslim students, then Christian students. Where will you keep over 250 children and their pupils? And then you will be releasing them episodically. 50, 100, now 230. What kind of thing is that? They should give people the credit for some intelligence. And then in all of this, the people who are supposed to have been responsible for the kidnapping, nobody has been apprehended. The kidnappers, tomorrow they will strike again to play politics with people's lives. That's very unfortunate. So let us look at the underlining, the subtextual issues. You kidnap Muslims, you kidnap Christians. So who is behind this manipulation of people's intelligence? I just raised that by way of questions. But the government can jubilate. They say this is a moment of joy, a moment of triumph. Can we look beyond that triumph, beyond that joy? When no kidnapper, no terrorist has been sanctioned. And that takes us quickly to Operation Adinkai, reporting that they've been able to cut off supply routes for the terrorists and the bandits. Well, traditionally, religiously, editorially, we praise the security agencies when they do well. Okay, so we believe them on the basis of what they have said. But not let this not be some kind of propaganda, because this is a battle, asymmetrical as it may be, as the analysts may have said it is, that Nigeria must win. President Tinubu has promised us that this country must be safe for everybody. He has done well in the area of economic reforms and all of that. He has to do well too with security. It's a subsisting challenge in which area we expect results.